Hey everybody, and welcome to the bullshit party. Oh, that feels good. And in this one, we're gonna be taking a look at the newest podium vehicle, the Nightshark. And as always, we're gonna be starting off with the exterior, going into the interior, then going to Los Santos Customs, customizing it, and then testing it out. Although, this vehicle's armored, so we're probably gonna test the armor as well, but all in good time. For now, let's just start with a cool 360 around the vehicle. And in case you're wondering what the Nightshark's based on, it's based on the real-world darts combat. With a K. And after you watch this video, I dare you to go on Wikipedia what type of leather was used for the upholstery for the darts. But back to the Nightshark. As I said in the beginning, it's an armored vehicle. And as an armored vehicle, you can't really interact a lot with it. All you can do is open all 4 doors, which I gotta say is a bit disappointing, but considering it's an armored vehicle and it's supposed to stay in one piece, I kinda understand. All in all, the exterior looks very impressive, and oh my god, what's that radio? I'm guessing the interior of this one is gonna be very interesting. So with that said, let's just close all the doors up, and in case you're wondering, yes, it does hold 4 people, and climb in to see what the interior looks like. And okay, it does look very distinctive. Kinda looks like what I would imagine the Apollo 11 looked like from the inside. And worst of all, when I'm in first person I can't see the radio. But how does it sound? Hey there, I'm ready to order. I'd like to order one not impressive called the Pickles. And with that, it's time to see what type of drivetrain this vehicle has. What? It's armored! And my highly scientific test concludes that it's an all-wheel drive vehicle. Fascinating. And with my test done, it's time to make a U-turn and go to Los Santos Customs to see what we can customize on it. And I know what you're gonna say in the comment section, yes, that was totally intentional. And with that, let's get going to Los Santos Customs, and on our way there, I'm gonna share with you my initial thoughts of the stock version of this vehicle. First off, I'd like to say that I had the Nightshark a couple of years ago, but I had to sell it because I didn't have garage space. The irony, right? But from what I remember back then, it's an awesome vehicle that accelerates very good, especially for its size. And not to mention, it comes with a machine gun. I mean, how cool is that? And just like this one right here, I got my original one for free. I don't remember the event or the reason for it, I just remember I got it for free. So I'm really looking forward to be able to drive this again. And let's be honest, this is probably the most perfect vehicle for me, cause I, crash a lot. And as for what the base version of the vehicle that I'm driving right now feels like, top speed isn't the best, acceleration is decent, the machine guns are cool, but definitely the star of the show is the handling and the way the vehicle just handles impact. The weight distribution of it, I gotta say, is very complimentary to the way I drive. But I joke, I know how to drive. Shut up. And with that minimal damage done to the vehicle, we are finally at Los Santos Customs. I gotta say, I'm really excited to see what we're gonna make of this one. And here we are, finally, at Los Santos Customs. And I know what you're gonna say, and no, I don't like liveries, and that's why we're not in an Avenger. All that damage $100? Piece of cake. And after that's done, I just wanted to complete a request that some of you have had. How much can you sell it for? Checks out. And after that's done, what we're gonna do is start upgrading all the performance options up front. And I thought about it, and since this is an armored vehicle, we are also gonna upgrade the armor. I don't usually do this, but as I said, I wanted to be thorough in my review of it. And after that, we're gonna upgrade all the other performance options before moving on to actually customizing it. And skimming down the list, I don't see a lot of customization options, but let's see what we can do. Something that I want to mention right now, and it's something that I was confused a little bit later on in the video about, is that if you decide to go with armor plating on the windows, you can't have tint on them. That's a bit of a weird one for me, but I guess it's a fair trade-off. And if you're paying attention to the actual video, you're probably noticing that I'm going for a theme with this vehicle. And the theme is more armor, more better. And really the coolest thing that you can customize on this is the armor, so might as well take advantage of that. And with the armor section of the customization done, it's time to go to the exhaust. And I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the side exhaust, so we're gonna stick with the dual exhaust at the rear. And next up for customization, we have the hood, the grille, and etc. Which reminds me of something that I wanted to clarify from last week's video, in which I opened the hood of the vehicle and was surprised by the size of the engine. And I don't think you guys understood the joke. Nissan is an Asian brand. And since last week's vehicle was sort of resembling a Nissan, which have V6s, I was surprised by the size of its engine and said that definitely isn't Asian. And that's why I made the joke that the engine's too big and definitely can't be Asian. And if you haven't seen the video, I'm gonna post it right here in case you wanna watch it. After you watch this one, of course. And speaking of this one, we're down to my favorite customization option. Changing the color of the license plate. I honestly have no idea how this is not a microtransaction yet. And next up is the suspension height. And since this is an off-road vehicle, I'm not gonna change anything about the suspension, I just wanted to showcase what it looks like at the different levels. And hey, we haven't done this in a while. Let's see what wheels we can put on this car without it looking stupid. Let's see now, it's an off-road vehicle, but it's sort of an SUV, so let's see what SUV rims we can put on it. No, no, no. Okay, all of them look stupid. Okay, let's go back to the off-road category. I mean, they can't all be horrible, right? And even though I didn't mind the original ones, at this point it's sort of a pride thing. So even though those are ugly and these are even uglier, I'm gonna choose Rockfroller and pretend this whole segment didn't happen. Oh, and in case you're wondering about the tire design options, you're better off skipping it than forgetting it ever existed. And as for the tire enhancements, the tires are bulletproof already since this is a bulletproof vehicle. And with that done and no window tint option in sight, it's time to respray this one. And for that, I'll have to turn to my trusty poll that I post every week, and if you want to be a part of it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And this week, despite my best efforts, Potato didn't win again. Midnight Blue won, and thank you so much to everybody that voted, and hopefully you like the result. But it's not Potato. But honestly, that's kind of okay, cause Midnight Blue looks good on this vehicle. So now it's up to me to throw everything off with the secondary color. Which reminds me, I don't know why you guys tell me I have such a horrible taste of combining colors. I mean, raise your hand if you don't think pink is gonna look good as a secondary color on this one. What? Nobody? Okay then. No, don't worry, we're not gonna go with pink for this one. Instead, we're gonna go with Frost White, because I think it very well contrasts the black and the blue. And speaking of contrasting, there's only one thing left to do before we exit Los Santos Customs, and that's to change the color of the rims. Now, I know what you're saying, viewer, but bullshit, the wheels were already fine. And I realize that now. But just like with changing the rims, at this point, it's a pride thing. So let's just choose a color that, 1, is not gonna make the vehicle look stupid, and 2, is distinctively different from the first color. Okay, that's different. Done! And done. See you outside. And here we are, finally, in the sunlight, and this is what the vehicle looks like. And I gotta say, it looks, distinctive. I know what you're all wondering. What does it look from the inside? Oh my god. Ah, okay, that was the side window. But I gotta say, the front windshield isn't much different. I wonder if somebody's gonna be able to drive this thing in first-person view. Well, let's see. Do-do-do-do-do, just minding my own business. Do-do-do-do-do, having 2 speedometers right on top of each other, that makes sense. Do-do-do-do-do, crashing into everything, which is okay, cause it's armor. Do-do-do-do-do, I'm upside down. Move, bitch! I grew up listening to Ludacris. But exiting first-person view, clearly the car is undrivable in it. The first thing that I want to mention is that after putting armor on all the windows, you'll no longer be able to change the weapons and you can only use the machine gun. But more annoyingly, you can't get rid of the reticle in the front. As I've said in the past, I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. As for how the vehicle's properties changed when we upgraded it, first off, you're probably not gonna win any races with it. It doesn't have very good top speed, and the acceleration's decent, but not great. And that's only based on it being an off-road vehicle. On the other hand, if you choose to look at this as an armored vehicle, acceleration's great, top speed's very decent, and it's actually very fun to drive. It has this weird floaty feeling to the suspension, which actually makes it perfect for off-roading and just hovering over imperfections in the road. As for the looks, you guys saw that the customization options were very limited, but that's fine. What's most important for this vehicle is for it to be safe, since it's an armored vehicle. And as an armored vehicle, it's durable and it can handle a couple of grenades. So to answer the question if this vehicle's worth it or not, I'd say it's totally worth it regardless of your reason for owning it. It checks all 3 categories, them being decent acceleration, good off-roading machine, and good armored vehicle, and not to mention it comes with built-in machine guns. And it doesn't come much better than that. And with that, I'm pretty much out of things to say. Thank you to everybody that watched, hopefully you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Oh no, the fuzz!